And here it is. It's an actual book. Thank you to everyone who has already bought a copy, and I'm hoping that in the next 15 minutes you'll be inspired to read this story and also visit Nepal if you haven't already. I would also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land which we're gathered here today, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people with us today. It's a real honour to be standing here at the end of a very long journey, and I couldn't be more proud of Som and what he's achieved, of Phulmaya and what she's overcome, and of myself. I think I can finally say that. It's been a long journey to get here, but we're here for International Women's Day, and I would like to say Happy International Women's Day. And the theme this year is Inspire Inclusion, so it's a very fitting theme for this book being launched. And you might think, hang on a minute, this is a book about a bloke. How can this be an International Women's Day story? And it was always my aim to launch this book on International Women's Day, and hopefully I can show you why. So on the left-hand side is Som on his first day of school in Batasi village, Nepal, which is northeast of Kathmandu. A 2-day walk for people like you and I, probably about a 5-hour, 6-hour run for Som. He grew up with not much and made the most of it, and he was always had this burning desire to be educated, and he actually went to the lengths of taking berries down to the village way below, several hours walk away, to exchange for foods that his family couldn't have, and he helped raise the money with the help of his mum to buy his school uniform so he could go to school. But school was not for girls in Nepal, and most of the kids that went were boys. It just wasn't considered for girls. It wasn't their role. They were there to help farm, help with the children, and get married, have babies, and then look after their husband's parents. So it wasn't really even part of the equation. But Som changed all of that. So the middle photo is Phulmaya. Do you know how old you were when this photo was taken?
11.
You were 11?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point in Phulmaya's life, Som had actually gone to Kathmandu thinking that he was going to get an education. He'd been promised to be placed with a family and to have an opportunity to finish his school, and it didn't turn out that way. He ended up enslaved, basically working for a family, never able to attend school himself. He finally got out of that situation at 12, and he's like, well, I can't help myself, but I can help my younger siblings. And Phulmaya was his younger sister, and he fought with his parents for her to go to school. It was culturally not done, and they very much resisted the idea of Phulmaya going to school. His older sister Tokmaya didn't get to go to school. So at age 11, Phulmaya got to go to school. Perhaps you'd like to share a little bit about that.
Thank you, Kirsty. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for having us here for today's event. I really enjoy meeting everyone, chatting with a few of all the women and amazing women, and I would like to wish you all happy International Women's Day 2024. This is my first Women's Day lunch with an amazing, inspirational, very supporting and loving women from Cairns community. Thank you so much for having us and for giving opportunity to share our story. Thank you. I started my school on the age of 11. My brother Som supported from my study while I was 11. I was looking after my younger siblings and helping to my parents to farm in the village with them. But my brother went to Kathmandu city of Nepal, and he came back in the village, and he was with one of his friends, and they were chatting about me and do I go to school or not. And then after that, Som decided me to send to school, and he had to tell mom and dad that if mom and dad don't let me go to school, he won't be back to village because he's not happy with mom and dad's decision. But however, mom and dad says, okay, fine, we will send her to school according to his support. And I finally get to go to school at the age of 11. I work as a trekking guide since 2016 in the different route of Nepal, like Everest and other part of mountain. And I met Kirsty in 2016. I were with her in the village to volunteer at the school, and she was doing some fundraising, sponsoring papers for the student. I was with her, and then I completed grade 5 in the village. After that, I went to the town, 1.5 hour walk from village, and I completed grade 6 to 10 in the town. Then after that, after finishing grade 10, I went to the city to do my pharmacy in diploma. Then I completed my pharmacy in diploma in 2016, and I also completed bachelor in social work in 2022 during the pandemic. And then I did work at the pharmacy during the pandemic for 3 years, and I'm working here in Cairns at the pharmacy store. I'm enjoying my life over here. Married with my husband, Brandon brought me here. It's been a year in this month. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And it's been a great year for me. It's been a 1 year in this month in March, but I feel like it's just been few months. I really enjoy staying here. People like you all around me, helping, supporting, and all the positive people of Cairns community. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Phulmaya. And you can see the difference between 11-year-old Phulmaya and the empowered version. And I've just got another little video, and she doesn't know I'm playing this, but it's kind of cute. So this is 2016 when I first went to Nepal. As Phulmaya said, I volunteered for a month in Batasi village. I'd interviewed Som after the earthquake in 2015 when I was an ABC reporter, and then I began to learn a bit more about his work. And I knew, covering lots of natural disasters, that really it's the support kind of wanes after months pass. And I thought around 18 months after the disaster would be a good time to go and volunteer. So that's how I ended up. And Phulmaya was the one who actually greeted me and helped carry my bags from Kathmandu to Batasi when I first volunteered over there. And I think this little clip just kind of captures the energy and potential of these young women in Batasi who may have otherwise, if not for the work of Som's organisation, Friends of Himalayan Children, and his trekking company Take on Nepal, which prioritises women guides, may have had a very, very different life.
I'm not good at dance. Actually, I was learning from other girls. I'm not good at dancing.
So sorry to embarrass you, Phulmaya.
Thank
But
you.
for me, as a witness, it was such a joyful moment. And these ladies had just gone on I don't know how many K run. I didn't join them, but I was filming them for an ABC story. They'd already done like several Ks running up and down the mountains, and this was sort of like their little...
Yeah, I did join with them for a few of the events of running, but I'm not a fast runner.
No.
I just run for fun. Like get up in the morning, I don't plan to run or walk. Oh, I should go for a walk. I should go for a run. And then do red arrow or yellow arrow. That's all I do. I don't make a plan. I don't do the plan to do, but I enjoy
But she's
running
been to...
a little bit, walking.
Yeah, and also going to
Yeah.
Everest Base Camp every other month. So,
Yeah.
don't underestimate your your abilities. You have a lot more stamina than any one of us.
Thank you.
So these are a few of the girls in that video, and then again here, this is 2018 when I returned with the idea of gathering interviews for the book, and I didn't realise I would have to walk to Everest Base Camp to do that, but nevertheless, it was all part of the research, and I was very happy to do it. And the biggest thrill for me was a lot of these girls that I taught 2 years previous are in this photo as trekking guides. Like, how amazing is that? And that just embodies inclusion for me. This is what Som has been driven to do his whole life. He's only 40 years old. He's been in Cairns 20 years, and he's lifted these girls up. He's changed their lives, and most importantly, the underlying goal of this was to stop sex trafficking. A lot of girls were disappearing from his village. He knew even as a child that that was wrong, and he wanted to do something to change it. So that little boy that you saw in the first image, who was born with nothing except a drive to change things, has achieved all of this. And that is why I had to write his story. And yeah, you're an inspiration, Som, and you're the most humble person I've ever met. This is just a little part of my journey along the way. Obviously we had COVID and lots of things, so I had a hysterectomy just when I was going to be writing the book, and I was like, oh, no worries, I've got some downtime, I can use that to write the book. But no, didn't happen then. So here I am at the hairdresser, inspired. I just had to write the book whenever I had time and inspiration, because obviously I'm running a motion video with Susie Cray, and I had to sort of sneak the book into the bits in between, and lots of weekends and nights and whatnot. So, but we did it together. I would like to thank the Cairns Regional Council and Queensland Government. I did get a Regional Arts Development Fund grant to help me write this book. They obviously saw something in Som's story as well, and so I really appreciate the support in being able to start the process. And of course, we had the opportunity last weekend at the book launch and fundraiser for Friends of Himalayan Children to meet another special person, Elizabeth McLean. The reason this book has been published, and it's been independently published through the Erudite Pen, so thank you very much to Dr. Juliette Lackmeyer for doing such an amazing job with it. A lady reached out to me a few months ago, and she's like, oh, I need to read this book. Where can I get the book? And I'm like, well, you can't, it's not published. I tried for 2 years to get this book published. 30 people said no. They all said, amazing story, beautifully written, but no thanks. And so the only way this book was going to happen was if I published it myself. And a lady stepped forward, a total stranger until last weekend, Elizabeth McLean, and said, I need to read this book. How much will it cost to publish it? And she sent me the money. So thanks to Elizabeth again. She was our guest of honour last Saturday. We were finally able to say thank you, and she's an amazing human, and we hope that she gets to Nepal and to Batasi soon. Really, that's all I wanted to share with you today, except that the main reason that I have written this book, apart from sharing an amazing story, is because Som has very much depended on the Cairns community to do the work that he has done all of this time since setting up Friends of Himalayan Children in 2007. So we are so lucky. Friends of Himalayan Children has not got tax deductible status, so you can sponsor through them. But Rotary Cairns Sunrise has now sponsored a project through the Rorke's program, which that is the QR code for, and there's leaflets on your table, and you can now make tax deductible donations that will help support the education of young like young boys and girls in Nepal. So encourage you to make a donation and to go and visit Nepal and immerse yourself. It's the most amazing country. And yeah, did you want to share anything else, Phulmaya?
Thank you so much, Kirsty, for writing a book of my brother. You are not only sharing of my brother's story here in Cairns or here in Australia, you are going to share all around the world and Nepal as well. So thank you so much for supporting us and writing a book about the village and how my brother is supporting to the girls to be educated, independent and valued. And thank you so much.
And most importantly, there has been no girls trafficked from the village in many years.
Women empowering women makes big change. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for mine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.